I'm Keri Lawrence, one of the wine consultants with Kosherwine.com. Today I want to briefly highlight Chile, and especially Chilean Chardonnay, and I'm going to be tasting our Casa De Cielo Chardonnay. So even though Chile is considered a New World wine region, it actually has a very, very long history with winemaking and grape growing, all the way back to when the 16th century Spanish conquistadors came to the region to colonize it, and they brought in those Vitis vinifera grapes with them. So as a thin but really long country, Chile's vineyards span actually about 550 miles north to south, but only 60 miles east to west. So it's very thin, thin and narrow, like long and narrow as a country. But in that area, there are some very unique features, climatic features that really allow a large variety of different grapes to grow. So for example, you have on the west, the Pacific Ocean. We'll talk a little bit more about that does in a second. But then right off that Pacific Ocean, you have these coastal mountain ranges, and that sort of provides a windbreak effect, if you will, from the heavy breezes and different changes that can come off the Pacific. And then of course to the east are the Andes that provide that border to Argentina. Which Argentinian Malbec, by the way, I love. That'll have to be a whole other different video. But then within these two mountain ranges is the Central Valley, and that's where the majority of Chilean grapes are produced. And Chile is overall a very warm country, and so it can produce things like Cabernet very well, Merlot, and of course their native grape is the Carmenere, which Chile is known for. However, that Pacific Ocean does cause some cooling effects across a lot of the region, so it allows these regions in Chile to grow some exceptional Chardonnay as well. Of course, Chardonnay is a grape that has been cultivated for centuries, and it's almost sort of like a rite of passage, if you will, for a wine growing region to become known for being a winemaking region. If they can grow a Chardonnay, then they've made it in the winemaking world. So because Chilean Chardonnay does thrive in those cooler regions of the country, it's still overall a warm country, and so you're going to get some tropical notes to it. But primarily La Mare in the northern area of the Chile winemaking region produces exceptional Chardonnay, as well as the Casablanca Valley, to name a few. And these are some areas that the Pacific Ocean really has a cooling effect. And the resulting wines, though, because of that, will have more of a moderate to even a higher acidity than a typical like Burgundian Chardonnay might. A little bit of a fuller body or mouth feel, less buttery notes, less pastry, not as much aging on the leads, but striking minerality and tropical notes. And so this particular wine, our Casa De Cielo Chardonnay, is a Kosherwine.com exclusive. This is one of our QPR wines. It is a Mavushal status, so it's a great pick for weddings, bar mitzvahs, graduations, any major large gatherings that you have where you really want a great white wine at a solid price. So it's really refreshing and crisp. It's a beautiful color. And it carries with it this really aromatic blend of those tropical notes that you would get out of a warmer region Chardonnay. So you get a lot of apricot and pineapple, of course your lime a little bit, but there's a unique like zesty mandarin note too, mandarin orange, and I love it, or like tangerine or nectarine. And on the palate, it's like zippy and crisp. It almost, you can liken it to a Sauvignon Blanc, which is very unique for a Chardonnay. But what that does is it allows it to be a great pair with a lot of different foods. You could pair this with a fatty fish or a white meat or a roasted vegetable. So no matter what you're having on your spread, this would be a great white to pair there because it's refreshing, it's crisp, it's got a nice little tartness to offset anything that is spicier. So it'd be perfect for like Chinese food or any Asian dish as well. We usually sell this, off the top of my head, it's about $12.99, but it's often on sale. But either way, it is a great wine if you're looking for something to impress a lot of guests that isn't going to break the budget. It's fantastic. I'm still getting some great notes on my palate. So it's got a wonderful finish. Truly fantastic find out of Chile and a wonderful example of Chilean Chardonnay. We also have Casa De Cielo Cabernet, which is phenomenal, and a Rosé as well. But as always, feel free to give us a call at Kosherwine.com or send us an email, and myself or Brad or any member of the wine team will be happy to help you with recommendations or answering any questions. But thank you for joining me for this quick glimpse into Chile and primarily our Casa Chardonnay.